From the Bag of Nails, which is a club in the West End.
Was it one of those with the Go Faster stripes and the polyfiller and all that?
No, I couldn't afford that. No, but it was a four-door, 1.6 or something like that.
And you're going to be singing for us a little later. What are you going to be singing?
It's a song ballad from the new Moody's album. It's called I Just Don't Care.
Okay, well, we look forward to hearing that, Justin. Thank you. Right.
Well, there's been plenty of...
Moody Blues, on and off, for 20-odd years.
Yeah.
It must be a bit like being married to the other guys in the group.
It's actually more like, it is like a family. I don't know about being married, but it's like a family. They're like brothers, I suppose. You know, you know each other so well, you almost know what the other guy's going to say before he says it, you know. It's that kind of, it's a brother sort of kind of relationship. But
like brothers, do you get in a situation where you say, oh, you get on my nerves when you do that. You're always leaving your guitar in the way and that sort of thing. You get all that, but you survive it. Yeah.
And what happened to that £2 I lent you in Sweden 15 years ago? That's what usually goes on. No, but it's great.
Does it make a difference? Because when you first joined them, they'd been going for a couple of years, hadn't they?
Yeah.
Were you very
John and I joined together, beginning of 1966.
Did you feel outsiders then?
I don't think so, because we were going through a big change then. We suddenly decided to start writing our own material. I came to the band as a songwriter, and then we put together a first album that was all our own material for the very first time. Did a kind of change of sound, and then with our first album, Days of Future Past and Nights in White Satin, it really took off.
Do you think that the fact that we're seeing a lot of, I hate to use the word, veterans around.
Yeah. We got built to last 60s pop stars, yeah. We've
got David Bowie, we've got Cliff Richard, people like that around all the time. Is that a reflection of a lack of talent in young musicians, or what do you think it is?
No, I don't think so. No, there'll always be talent in young musicians, and I think really that the big changes that happen in popular music belong to the young people. But I think no matter what age, you've got something to contribute, and there's no reason why people should stop playing because of their age or because of how long they've been going. You know, we still want to play music and put it in front of the people.
The touring side of things, though, that must get a real drag.
It's hard, but I love it. I love it. I woke up one morning about 5 years ago and suddenly discovered I loved it, you know, and it's a strange thing after 15, 20 years of playing on the road, but our success was built on the fact that we are a touring band, and we'll always do that.
Well, I hope you will, and we'll talk to you a little more later, Justin.
Right.
Thank you. Meanwhile, it's time.
Good. Why have you chosen Greenpeace? Any particular reason for that?
Well, I support them, and also they asked me, and they asked me in November, and I just said yes, whatever you're doing. And they said, well, we're doing this series of concerts at the Albert Hall, and so I got involved quick.
So that is something for you to do practically. I mean,
yeah.
Are you just emotionally involved so far? You just feel for them without actually being too involved until this moment?
Yeah, well, obviously I'm not a member of Greenpeace. I'm not out there on the seas, you know, protecting the whales and risking my life in the way that they do. But if what I can do will help support their cause, and I'm very glad to do that.
Do you take an interest in their writings? They get up some tremendous activities, don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very risky business, it seems to me, protecting our environment.
I think it's good. It's a passive resistance, and it's very effective, and they have results, and they just need financing, a lot of money, and all this money obviously is going towards a lot of positive things in the world, you know. Now,
a week of concerts, and you're first on Monday. Your concert is first on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, are they selling well, or do you want to draw up some custom, or what? I mean, obviously you'd like the place to be full, would you?
Yes, I mean, I would for Greenpeace, and obviously it's going to be a lot of fun doing a gig at the Albert Hall. But obviously for Greenpeace, it would be good if lots of people come along and support them, because it's our world, you know.
Yes. And who's on with you? Because they go on throughout the week, and I'll talk about some of the others in a moment, but who's on your particular night?
Well, topping is Nick Kershaw, and we have Blue Thumb, the drum theatre, and I believe Spike Milligan will be doing his thing. Yeah. Yes.
So that should be a good fun night. And I've just been looking at a list of some of the other people who are coming. Certainly Pamela Stevens is making an appearance one night, and the Monty Python team are appearing on another night. So it should be a good fun week if people inquire about tickets.
Certainly, yeah.
Have you done your bit, Justin Hayward?
We did a tour, when was that, at 84, the end of 84, we did it, where all proceeds went to the NSPCC. But I must say that, I mean, young people doing things which Live Aid brought attention to, young people and young musicians, I think that it shows that maybe there is a really caring generation of kids growing up who are aware of what's going on in the world, and it's something we desperately need.
Yes, I think that is true of a great many people who feel that as public money tends to be tighter, you know, everybody fills in and is determined that their particular enthusiasm shouldn't go under.
That's right.
I don't know how you choose. I mean, I'm asked to do things for charities, everybody is, and the choosing is very difficult.
Well, we in the Moody's, we do one different thing every year, and we found that's the easiest way, so that we can just do that thing that year, something else the next year.
The trouble is that everybody comes to you and says, will you do this? It's the most important thing since sliced bread, and you say, yes, but they've just told me that, and they say, no, 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 ours is the most important. That doesn't matter. That's a very sort of encouraging attitude, isn't it?
Yeah.
What do you espouse mostly in terms of fundraising? Do you change it every year, or do you stick with the same kind of...
No, we've done, like I said, we choose a different organisation every year when we can, something that maybe means something to us.
Yes.
The last tour we did, it was children, you know, and we saw that, like I said, that was for the NSPCC, and we only had to see a folder of some pictures and what had happened to some of these kids, you know, and how they get terrible things that happen to them. And if you've got children yourself, then it hits right home, you know.
Kim, we saw you singing there on Top of the Pops. That was last year, one of your hits then.
Yeah.
How are things going now? When can we expect the next kind of smasheroo Kim Wilde on screen?
Yeah, well, hopefully I'm going to have a single out in June, and then I'm recording my album now here, and that will be in September. Yeah.
And how are things going? Because when I did the intro and we talk about your father and so on, but I did straighten it out by saying, you know, you now exist totally by your own efforts and by your own life. I mean, is life proceeding in the way you wanted it to be? I mean, when you lived in the shadow of your father, I mean, you were growing up and presumably wanted to enter the world of pop, and you've done that very successfully. Are things panning out as you planned?
Well, yeah, I've never really worried too much about living in his shadow, because he's always been very involved in my career, and he still is, you know, he's still working very hard. In fact, he was working very hard in the studio last night, finishing off a song with Ricky that I'll be recording on the new album. So, you know, he's still working really hard, and I've started writing. I write on my own, or with Ricky, or with my guitarist, Steve Bird. So, creatively, I mean, like Justin sort of got into writing early on in his career, and then that really sort of triggered off a lot of success in his life.
And is finding hits as difficult as it ever was? Can you tell beforehand?
No, you should do a lot of praying. No, you can tell once you're in the studio and something's sounding really strong, you just get, you know, you get a shiver up the back of your neck, and you know it's going to really hit hard.
And that's the atmosphere coming back from the fans, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Do you know when you've got a hit on your hands? Or can you tell?
No idea. I mean, all you can do is trust your own judgment. And if it sounds right to you and it feels good to you, sometimes you get that little tingle up the spine.
Rather like television programs, which come from the most unlikely ideas. I mean, if somebody went into a television producer and said, look, I've got this terrific idea for a comedy about, you know, the Home Guard I mean, the fan said, go away, you're mad. And yet that was, you know, the Dad's Army was a smash hit.
Brilliant, yeah.
You can always tell afterwards, but not before.
As long as you've got that gut reaction, you know, and you feel it's right, go for it.
Okay, well, we'll see you just very briefly a little later on, but good luck on Monday night, and we hope the concert goes well, and we hope we've drummed up a bit of custom for what is well, I think we should look after the environment. Thank you very much indeed. And here's the man